Hey kids, we're back. You're watching Guitar Quackery Live. This is the one and only live streaming guitar repair channel in the world, I think. I don't know. I'll keep saying that until I find another one. Yeah, so what are we doing here? I'm live streaming this thing. And one service that I offer is live streaming for customers to watch. So right now I am sending this link to this live stream to the owner of that Fender Jazz Bass. It just went out. And another thing that I normally do whenever we have people here is I also send the link to the monitor outside. So I'm also live streaming locally here. You see? So that takes a minute. It also gives the audience a chance to pick up the live stream from YouTube if they want to watch. So you are watching a live stream, right? Just so you know, I'm at work. So this doesn't always work. I don't know why. Sometimes it asks me for a TV code, which I don't know. And sometimes it just goes to the TV. If you are here, oh look, 2 people are watching already. One of them must be the owner of this bass. Let's see. So if your first time here, this is Guitar Quackery, little repair shop in a big city. Okay, so now it's playing outside so people can watch. How cool is that? Okay, and I got my switcher on my phone so I can switch. Where is it? Not this. This is it. So I can switch, yeah. So for your viewing pleasure, and I got cameras. So let's have a look at the bass first. Here it is. What happened here? Come on. Okay. Technology drives me nuts. Okay, this is the bass. It's a very special bass. That's what the owner of this bass told me. So it's his bad boy. Okay, and we need to do some work. Quite a lot of work. We're going to rewire the harness. Here are all the components from StewMac. We don't need the paper. Let's have a look. So before we do any rewiring, before we use any new components, we always test them. So that's what we're going to do. So there's a capacitor, 3 pots, and push-pull wire, and this output jack. That's what he wanted. The multi-contact output jack. I'm going to show you. So we are going to use the old plate because we don't want to put a new plate on a vintage relic instrument. It just wouldn't look right. But that's that. I do want to show you the bass first. It is a Fender Jazz Bass. You see? Well played, well loved. And this, he told me he wants me to clean this, so we're going to do a whole cleaning thing. All right, let's put it back. So what I'll do is I'll just remove this harness. I'll put the bass away, and then we'll work on the electronics. So you are watching part 1. This will be in multiple parts. And yeah, I don't know what else to tell you. So let's get busy. Why don't we put this here? It kind of makes more sense. Is it an autofocus? It is. Okay. maybe I don't want it in autofocus. Let me switch. Okay. And I've removed this before, so I'll use the power tool. All right, these are the 3 screws. I'll put them in order, and let's have a look inside. Okay. I think it's been worked on before because I saw that this wire is melted a little bit. This one is disconnected. It's really not connected to anything. I mean, it's connected to this, but there's no shielding paint or nothing inside. So, yeah. This one is connected to the bridge. We'll test that, obviously. These 2 are connected to this pickup, and these 2 are connected to the neck pickup. So what I'll do is I'll just cut the wires, because we'll rewire the whole thing. There is a push, what is it, push part? Yeah, here. So the new harness will be wired without a push part. So one thing we want to do maybe before we disconnect everything is just take a picture, okay, of how it was. Well, I don't need to take a picture. I can just document it with the video. So I'll make a video recording even better. Okay, so we have the neck pickup connected to, okay, this is nothing. It's just in the way. To this pot, the volume pot for the neck pickup, and the ground wires connected to this. So I'll just cut it here and here. These wires are too long anyway, okay? So that's our neck pickup. The bridge pickup is connected to this. So I'll just cut it here. And these 2 wires are connected to ground, obviously. That's it. So now I will remove all of the components, but I will keep them wired together. Yeah, there's no reason to disassemble everything, right? Now, like I said, we'll put the bass away for the time being. For the remainder of this live stream, I am just going to put it in the case. It's an old bass, it's an old case. So, by the way, whenever you move basses around the shop, don't hold them like this. Hold them like this. Because like this, you can bang them against something. But like this, you have more control, okay? That's a quick tip. Don't ask me how I learned. Yeah, anything with a long neck. So first thing we'll do is we'll test all the components. I bought them from StewMac, so I don't expect any problems. And if there are any problems, StewMac is, well, a fantastic place. They take care of you. They don't want you to have any problems if you buy things from them. I've never had a problem with StewMac. I've had faulty components or, you know, minor issues with some tools. I buy a lot from them, so it's going to happen. But, yeah, they'll always take care of the customers. Okay, so let's open up. Oh, come on. Okay, so that's the multi-contact output jack. And we have a capacitor. And 3 potentiometers. They're all the same. They're StewMac branded CTS pots. Okay. I didn't know that existed until I found out that it existed. Okay. And then we have this. So that's push-push wire. Yeah, that's it. That's all we need. So the testing is done with a multimeter. So first, let's check that they sent the right parts just by reading what it says. 250K CTS spot, and it says StewMac on it. Okay, so this one's correct. 250 CTS, okay. And yeah, because you don't want to do all the work and then find out that you know, there's a faulty part or incorrect component or something. Okay, so there are 250K. Now, I don't have alligator clips on these, so what I'll do is I'll just use these jumper cables like that. Okay, and now I can connect them here. And then turn this on. And it's going to tell me that it's 239.6K. Okay, so that's good. $226.6. So that's about 250. They're never going to be exactly 250, right? And that's also correct. So now you can place one on the wiper, and then you turn. So here it's, you know, maxed out to 225, whatever. And then when you turn, it's going to go to 0. Okay, so this works. Same thing on this one. Okay, so the wiper works. Okay. Okay, it works. Okay, so the pots are good. Now, does this test capacitance? Kind of. So let's test it. It's trying to decide what this component is. Well, it might not figure out that it's a capacitor. Oh, see, when I touched it, it read some resistance. But right now, it's not figuring out that this is a capacitor. So we'll know if it doesn't work when we once we build the circuit. Okay, it's easy enough to change a capacitor, And on this one, we just want to test for continuity. I can just use a cable. Plug it in. And test, put one. So which one is which? Well, I'll find out. So, okay, so that's connected to the tip. And this one should be connected not to the tip, but should be connected to the, yeah, ground. Okay, so that's how we know that this is ground. I will just put a green marking on ground right here so I know later. It's very faint, so why don't I put a red little dot on this connection here. This way I don't make a mistake. Also, the ground should be connected to this. And it is. Okay, so now that we know all the components are good, we can start building our circuit. All right, I might need this later. Okay. So we'll disassemble this. Okay, I need my Allen keys. So you can see that this is damaged. So this is damaged. And there were some issues with this, and the customer just decided, you know, let's just build another one. He didn't like this push anyway, so we're just building a new circuit. That's all. I'm going to remove all of these components and keep them all wired together. Maybe I'll make a little cardboard thing for this. I think that would be a good idea. But first we need to figure out what size these are. That's too big. That's too small. That's just right. So we are going to clean the base, but we want to keep some of the patina on. So it's not going to be the type of cleaning that's going to make it look like it's brand new. We don't actually want that. And that's including this plate. So we'll see. Now let's remove this. Is this the right size? Should be. It's good to have the right tools for the job. Some shops don't, and you know, I gotta say, I don't respect them. Because if you don't have the right tools, you can damage the instrument. So I just realized something. Okay, let me just assemble this. and I'll tell you what it is. This is a push-push pot, this one. And this knob is also a knob with a push-push button. So I'll have to discuss this with the customer. I don't know if we already talked about it. I can't remember. But he's just a phone call away. Okay. So now let's see how we're going to clean this. We just want to make it look good and old. All right. So we start with just you know, the regular cleaning spray, the Music Nomad Guitar Detailer, and let's see what happens. All right. Okay. Let me just check something on my screen. It says something went wrong. There's a monkey and the YouTube. So there's no chat. I guess the chat isn't working. Yeah, let me show you. So here you can see something went wrong. It says. So there's no chat. So I'm not sure if you guys have access to the chats or not. It seems like something went wrong. And I don't know what or how to fix it. But 6 of you are watching. So actually one of them is my phone. Okay, here we go. Like I said, we want to keep some of the patina. We don't want to make it look brand new. But we want to make it look, you know, cool, kind of attractive. Like faded jeans. Because this isn't a relic, you know, like artificially made relic. This is the real thing. Yeah, I think this is looking better. I think I want to keep some of the rust. But there is this film. I don't think the camera picked it up. I mean, I can see here. I have a monitor right there. I'm pointing at it. So I see what you see, and I see what I see in, you know, in front of me. And the camera doesn't really show everything, but it looked kind of like cleaning attempts had been done before in various directions, so it didn't look good. It had all these kind of like scratch marks through the patina from the cleaning attempts. So I just want it to look attractive, because old things look good. People like relics or you know, rusty things. We don't approach old instruments that have these kind of signs of aging. We don't clean them in the same way. So I still see these scratch marks here, and I don't like that. That's, you know, from the cleaning attempts. I'm not sure if it's going to show up if I zoom in. It kind of shows up, but there was a lot of that in multiple directions, so I want to remove that for sure. I'm removing the evidence. But I think this is already looking good. Still some scratch marks here. I do have like a metal polish, and I could buff this and all, but again, that's not what we want. Because then might as well buy just a new plate. And we didn't want that. I think I'm happy with this. I think this looks appropriate. Yeah, that's the word, appropriate. Okay, so now we can start building. Well, I guess I could clean this. A little bit. It's chrome, it isn't nickel. So, okay. I think it looks good from this side. Now, these have 2 ring nuts, and we want to. Why isn't this focusing? Okay. So we want to make sure that it doesn't stick out too much from the surface of the plate, right? So it didn't come with a lock washer, but I think it should have one. Why didn't include this? This is silly. I have ring washers here, so I'll just pick one. They come in different sizes, obviously. Yeah, that's good. So we want to adjust the bottom ring nut so that we get a good, a nice look on top, right? And one thing that would be good is to use some thread locker. Now there are different kinds of thread locker. Let me show you. So this is here we have the blue and red that I have. There's other kinds as well. So we don't want to use this one. It says here high strength. This is more like glue. Okay, we don't want to use this one. And this one is, it says right here, removable. Okay, that's the one we want to use. And it does kind of separate. So we want to do a little bit of this to mix it well. That's it. I forgot to put a link to this in the description, but I will. So I always edit my descriptions after these live streams. So if you want to buy the stuff that I use, yeah, you can check the description. Those are Amazon affiliate links, which means I get paid at no extra cost to you. A small commission. All right. All right, so I'm going to remove this ring nut and put a little bit of thread locker here and then put it back. So this ensures that I spread it around the entire cylindrical shape, yeah? And I want to put some more here on top. And this tastes sweet. I don't know if it's toxic, but yeah, don't ask me how I know. It tastes sweet. It's a bit clogged up. Okay, so why did I get clogged up now? So I'll use a string, an old string, to unclog it. I have my recycled strings here. Okay. Oh, come on. Okay. Now it's good. Okay, so like I said, we want to put the locking washer like this. Now there's a spring washer. Where is it now? Is this one? No, that's not the one. Oh, here it is. So this is a spring washer. And it's not a very good one. Yeah, I have better ones. So I want to make sure this works. Here. Okay, so I don't know if you can see the difference, but this one is a little bit convex, and this one is completely flat. We want the convex one. That makes it a spring washer. This technically isn't a spring washer if it's just flat. It's a flat washer with 3 little notches. But this is a spring washer. That's what we want. That's what's going to keep, add a little force that's going to keep the nut in place. Okay. So I only want it to stick out about this much which means now I need to adjust the inside washer, nut. And I can use this, so I can hold it here a little bit. I can use the spanner wrench to adjust it from here. But I neglected to turn it the right way. Okay, this way. Okay, and now I can tighten it with the, what is this, 1/2 inch? Yeah, a 1/2 inch. So I'm holding it and tightening it. Okay, so this is one of the most important components of an electric guitar or electric bass, because if this fails during the gig, you can't play. Now, these are going to go here. So we see there's enough space. Now, the grounding wire is going to come from here, and it's going to have to be connected to this. It's going to have to cross over. Why didn't they put this on this side? I don't know. Well, it is what it is, unless I turn it around now. Yeah, I might want to do that. You'll see why. So we are putting components that are different from the old components that were there before. So we want to keep checking that it's going to fit inside. We don't want any surprises at the end. So I'll just quickly check. I'm not going to put the bass on the bench. I'll just check. So, yes, it fits. Okay. Plenty of space. Another quick tip: whenever you leave a guitar like this or a bass and you just close it, just lock at least one of the what are they called? Clasps, latches. Okay, so if someone comes and picks it up, so that it doesn't open and fall. Okay, now let's do the rest. So you have two options. You can put it on the outside or on the inside. Just kidding. Okay, we have, for each component, we have a locking washer. We have two ring nuts and one flat washer. So let's measure it up. So what we'll do is we'll put a ring nut on here, and just let's take a quick measurement of this. Okay, this is perfect. So we don't have this thing sticking out. Of course, this isn't tight, but I'm happy with this. So what I want to do now is I just want to put the thread locker on all three pots and then assemble this thing. So same logic. Just like that. So yeah, like you saw me do it at the beginning, I did test every single component before assembling. Well, that's really how it should be done. Don't ask me how I learned. But yeah, you want to test everything. If you put new pickups in a guitar, you want to test the pickups. Don't rely on the QC signature, you know, because I don't think they always check everything at the factories. And because we're using the blue thread locker, we'll always be able to disassemble everything for servicing. And I don't know if you noticed, but today we're all Fender, so I'm wearing my Fender t-shirt because I'm working on the Fender. This is intentional. And this is a non-sponsored video. I am not sponsored by Fender or any other company, but I'm still telling you what I like. So I like StewMac, and I also like Music Nomad. They have, both companies have good products. Now I know that StewMac and Music Nomad are competitors, so they probably don't like to be featured in the same video. I don't know. But I like both of them, okay? So, and I've dealt with customer service with both companies, and people are always very nice. And I'm also going to tell you honestly, I don't like all StewMac products, and I don't like all Music Nomad products. But I'll tell you about those that I like. Let me put the thread locker here so that I don't forget to put the links in the description later. And now let's just assemble this thing. So I believe they will all be, you know what? I didn't plug in my soldering iron. We want to pre-bend. I'll show you. So this little thing, that's a technical term, is going to be connected to ground. So there's a couple of ways of doing this. We can just bend it a little bit like this, and then we can have the wire just go through. I think that's how I'm going to do it. So it can just go through like this. Yeah. So we want to pre-bend this one. So that's one volume pot. The other one, the same one. That's the this is going to be for the other pickup, for the bridge pickup. Okay. This is going through like this. Of course, we're going to strip it. And then on the tone pot, it's optional. You can cut this one off if you want to. Sometimes they do that, but I don't really feel that it's a tight space, so I'm just going to leave it. All right. Yeah, that's what I'll do. Okay. You always want your wiring to look neat. Okay, so now I'm just holding it like this, and I will just tighten it with a 1/2 inch socket wrench. I want good alignment. Looks good. All right. Same thing here. Am I doing this right? Yeah, I am. Yes. Some people can do this in their sleep. I can't. I don't do it often enough. Sometimes you buy these pre-wired harnesses and it's just a piece of art inside. You know, people who do this every day, they can really wire these things very neatly. Yeah. So let me show you from the other angle. Just like that. So when you buy a Squier guitar or Epiphone, these things aren't tightened well enough. And that isn't good. All right, I think this looks pretty neat. So we are going to have a single wire pass through. I don't need this anymore. This was just so I don't spill the blue thread locker on my workbench. So we're going to have one single wire pass through this. So obviously I'm going to strip it. So this is pushback wire, like that. But for this connection, we can just strip it. We don't need to keep the what is this cloth, whatever it's called. So it can just connect the 3 pots like this. Now these pots are already connected, and I'll show you this. So this is just really a redundancy, and yeah, I'll show you. We'll test for continuity here. So this is my multimeter. So when these two are connected together, see what happens? This shows 0, and you hear a little sound. Now my microphone is not going to pick up the sound, but you will see it go to 0, right? So if I touch this pot and the the plate, yeah, it doesn't quite go to 0, right? And now this one. And then there's this ground connection here. This goes to 0. Okay. So how should we connect this? We can connect these 3 together. So we can connect these 3 together with a bare wire, and then go like this and connect it to this. I think that would be good. Let's strip it. Okay, what size? Nope. Maybe this size. Yeah, that's it. Okay. So we'll strip it from around here. There's also an internal white cloth. Yeah, it didn't cut through that, so. There you go. So I did warm up the soldering iron. It's right here. It's nice and warm. And I need solder. I need this to be completely stable as I'm soldering. So I'm just going to put a vise on the workbench. I got a couple, so maybe this small one will work. Okay, this is good. I'll show you. It's just like that. Okay. This is the little StewMac repair vise. Okay, how should I do this? Maybe this way? So this is going to go through here. And it's going to connect these 3 pots together. Okay. We want to make it nice and straight. Just like that. All right, so now we'll do some soldering. It's important to heat up the workpiece, not to melted solder onto the workpiece, right? There's a big difference. So the other way would result in cold solder joints. So I'm using this rosin core soldering wire. And for this, I did put a link in the description. So we want to heat up the workpiece. So this is a big component, right? So this takes a little time. And now that it's hot, you can kind of start melting around here. And now you don't want it to move at all, okay? So it needs to cool off on its own. And that's it. Now we do this one. So I'm going to clean my tip. Okay, that's happening off camera. To be honest, a chisel tip would be better for this. I just don't have one right here, right now. Yeah, you also don't want to overheat any of the components, right? That's it. And maybe, so this is how I clean it. I have this, whatever, brass. It's kind of like steel wool, but it's brass wool. Okay. So this is going to connect. Okay. We're good like this. We have the connection between the three pots, that's the ground. And on these two volume pots, we also connect this, okay, to ground. But I haven't soldered this yet. So I'm just going to do this connection first. I'll let it heat up again. Some people are really good at this. This really isn't my specialty. Okay. And just let it cool. All right. Now we can start soldering these two connections here. So same logic, clean my tip. This is a smaller thermal mass, so it's not going to take as long to heat up. And same thing here. Okay, we're good with this. Now, we are going to connect this wire to the... Now, this connection is just a redundancy, right? We don't actually need it because, what we do need is are these two connections. So what we do need are these connections here and here. But this whole wire connected to the output jack is a redundancy. We don't technically need it, but let's do it anyway. So we want to make it look nice. So how about this way? All right. And we'll just connect this to the output jack. like that. Okay. Where's my thing? I have flush cutters. I was using them the other day. Oh, I hate when that happens. Oh, here they are. So this is really good for this kind of job. But before we connect it, we always want to double check everything, right? So I'm going to, in fact, double check that this is the ground connection. Now it should be, because I marked it with green and I marked this one with red, but I'm just going to double check. And that's easy enough to do. Where's the multimeter? Oh, here it is. I'd rather do that than be fixing it later. So, yeah, this is connected now to the plate. And now I'm just going to touch this. And you see, it doesn't quite go to 0 ohm, which means this wire should help. It's just going to be a better connection. So maybe it's more than just redundant. I lost my grip on the plate. But this is, in fact, the ground connection. And this here should be the ground connection. And this as well. So it doesn't quite go to 0. Interesting. Right. So maybe because this connection isn't too good. But how about if I connect it here? If I connect it to this wire. Now it goes to 0, you see? And this goes to 0 probably, yeah. Almost 0. Okay, cool. So when I connect the wire to this, it is in fact going to be a better connection. We just proved this. Yeah. Okay, just like that. Oh man, I cut it too short. So another thing that I want to point out is the fact that this is one wire connecting everything, okay? That's also something that has a reliable connection. And can we strip? I know it's a pushback wire, but I want to kind of strip it. It's just going to make it neat. And we have these fibers, so I'm just going to cut them off. And now I just want to kind of shape this wire like an S-curve almost, so that it goes through and that it's not pointing towards the jack, but pointing up, right? And I want to position it to where it's not moving at all. and we solder it. I just ordered some new solder. From the same link that's in the description, actually. Same thing, we heat up the component. And we let it cool off, right? And now we want to test the connection. So obviously one good way to test it is with the cable, because that's ultimately what's going to be used. So we want to have continuity between this ground here on the cable and this. So there is some resistance in the cable or in the connection, but if I unplug the cable and I just test, so not the actual solder joint, but right next to it, here and here. Okay, that's it. So this is where I'm testing it. It's here, right? This is the solder joint. I'm testing it here. Okay, so now we're done with this connection. And now it's time to do the signal connection. And that's going to be done with the white wire. Now, if I recall, it's gonna go from, and I'm gonna double check that online, but let's see if I am gonna get this right from memory, right? Okay. So this white wire, I believe, will be connecting this to this and then to this. Yeah, is that it? And then will be connected to this. A capacitor will be connected to from here to here. And the bridge pickup will be connected here, and the neck pickup will be connected here. So now, let's see if I got this right or not. I'm going to check. So, welcome to Guitar Quackery Live. We're doing this live as we speak. And I believe the customer is watching. So I better behave. Okay. I think I got it right. I believe so. Let's go back to this. So I was saying, connecting this, 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 and this together. That's what I said, right? With this wire. Now, it would be good to make it one continuous connection. So this goes here. And like I said, we can cut this one off if we feel that it's going to cause problems. And then we'll have the capacitor here. From here to ground. So connect it from here to ground. Now, let me see if I can find a good execution of this. Like I said, some people are really good at this. Oh, this is a good idea. I like this. Okay, I'll show you what I just found. Okay, and let's do that because we want to make it nice. We're going to put the shrink tubing on this one here. Okay? Yeah. Instead of cutting it off, we can put some shrink tubing. Let's do that. We got shrink tubing, so let's use it. Okay, maybe this one was the right size. This could work. Let's see if this white one would work. It's a different diameter. Feels a little tighter, so I think that's maybe better. Maybe the red one, even tighter. Okay, great. So let me show you what we're doing. But first, let's get the heat gun ready. So we'll use red shrink tubing. Colors don't make a difference, really. I want it to be a good fit. Here we go. So I'm going to remove this capacitor for now and just put the shrink tubing here and cut it off about here. And now just use the heat gun okay. Now it's protected against evil forces, I guess. I just realized I made a mistake. I didn't let it cool off. I unplugged it. Let me... Okay. That's fine. It'll work. Let me see. Yeah, it works. You need to let these things cool off before you unplug them. So it's going to keep blowing air until it's, you know, down to a safe temperature. Okay, but, you know, this looks good. I think, let me think if I should put mount the capacitor first, or if we should do that wire. Now the capacitor is going to need, this lead wire will need to be somehow shielded. Unless I make it really short. Yeah, all right. See, now I can unplug it. And I'm not going to use shrink tubing for any other connections here. It's not necessary. Um, so I want this to look good. So I'm trying to find a good position for the capacitor. You can also use hot glue. Hot glue, yeah, the one that melts. Now, I'm going to reshape the lead wire. Maybe I need to put the camera above this thing so I can see what I'm seeing. All right, so I kind of want it to be here, okay? And I want this wire to go straight here. So right now we have this little wiggly thing. So I want to straighten it. Now you need to be careful how to do this because you can damage the capacitor. So yeah, that's almost not recommended, but let's do it anyway. Okay, so now that it's like this, is this in focus? Not really, right? So now that it's like this, I'm holding it with the needle nose pliers and I'm straightening this one. Okay, it'll work fine. Okay, we'll put it here and I was going to go straight into this. But so let's trim it right here. All right. But this should never come into contact with this. So we need to put something there. So this came from the push, what is it called? Push? No. Let's see. So that's kind of neat. Okay. And I am going to cut it right here. Is this going to work? It should work. Okay, and now let's put this on over this thing. It'd be kind of neat to assemble it like this. So we only need this much of it, right? So why don't we do this? I'll cut this here completely. And I'll remove this. And now I am going to push this wire out. You see what I'm doing? So this fell out now, this piece. And this is how it's going to be connected to this. Now, we need to connect this one to ground. So once again, it's just too long. Let's refocus a little bit. Let's just cut it here. And we need to bend it a little bit. So I'm gonna hold it here and just bend this down. I should have bent it before, and now it is what it is. Okay. See, I'm messing it up already on camera. Now, I'm picky, so I don't like this thing sticking out like this. I'm gonna just trim here, 0.5 millimeter. Okay, and now maybe I want to reshape this a little bit here, this tip. Make it point up a little bit, and we can trim it after we do the soldering. So see how this is really stable? I'm going to put some binding tape on top, the tape that's used for binding repairs, and that's going to hold the capacitor in place as I'm soldering. So it's really important that components don't move as you're soldering them, right? So I'll solder this here and this here, okay? Well, let's just do it. Again, we're warming up the component. And look at that. It melts, and we let it cool. And now I'm going to solder this one. Focus, focus. Which way is focus? Okay. We need to clean the tip. Okay. So I'm going to touch the tip a little bit here to start melting it, and now this transfers heat. Okay. And I believe this is good. It's fine. I'm not 100% happy with it, but I don't know. Don't tell anyone. It's fine. Okay. Now I can remove the binding tape. And it's kind of neat, right? It's not moving. It's good. Now, like I said, we're going to be connecting. So we'll connect this to this, and then we'll go around here, connect it to this, and then from here, we go around here and connect it to this. Was this the best way to do it? I don't know anymore. I kind of wanted to keep this like that. I guess I could have put this right next to this and connected together, but that would have rotated this whole thing like that, and then this wire would have to go all around. I think this is okay. So how are we going to do this? Um, well, um, we want to have some extra wire. And you know what? Let me again double check everything here with the images. You can find the images on the internet. Yeah, this is it. Yeah. Okay. Now, this one's going to be a little trickier because I'm going to want to use one continuous wire, but I don't want to remove and then put these things back on the shielding, right? So let me, why don't I do this? Yeah, how about this? I mark it off. Let me think for a moment here. So to make it neat, yeah, it's okay. You know, I have an idea. How about if I Google neat jazz bass wiring harness? How about that? Google Images. Yeah, it's just the same way I want to do it. So in some cases, the tone pot is facing the other way. I think that's going to be as neat as it gets. Yeah. They just make it go over the potentiometer. So I'll do the same thing. It's going to go over this potentiometer. Maybe I can move it just a little bit, nudge it. So like that. And it's going to go here through this. And then it'll be connected to this. So oh, I see. I could go down. I could go down and around and then come up like this. This would work fine. Okay, so I wanted to mark off this spot, and we're going to cut it here. So let me cut it like here instead. And now we want to also mark off this spot here. And this is going to move this in this direction. So, oh, that's going to be stripped all the way. Yeah, no problem. I think this is going to work fine. Okay. Let me figure this out. So with these wire strippers, obviously it's important not to damage the wire. So you see I didn't cut through that internal. Okay, so I just ripped it. That's good. Yeah, I just got to think through this. So I'll be quiet for a minute. And that's here. Good. Okay. I need to clean up this little part here, this section. Yeah. Yeah, I think this is okay. Now, we don't need to have a one continuous wire. It's just that if you do, you know it's not going to fail. So it is tight. Okay. It's going to go here. You can see how soldering always takes longer than you think it will. And at this point, I just want to solder this one. It's going to go here and here. Or should I just thread it through first? Yeah, let's do that. Oh, come on. Maybe I need to remove it. Okay. Okay. So this shouldn't be touching the top of the potentiometer, but we keep it there for now so that it holds it in place. And now we can start soldering. Let's do this one first. Okay. And before I forget, let's remove this. Um, Hi, you done with the rehearsal? You know, so the best thing to do would be to, let me give you my card. No, no, no. No, I understand. I understand. What is it? Uh-huh. Uh-huh. 5 string, yeah. So take my card number and just text me. The best is to text. And I want to just have you just read this just to make sure that this is the level of service you are seeking, right? So you can just text me and then I'll text you back for sure. Yeah, cool. No problem at all. Thank you. Um, I'm not happy with this. So I'm going to remove it. And so the wire is okay, but I'm not happy with the I'll show you. So I feel, you know, it's fine, but it's just a little too short for my taste. Because we can't have this wire accidentally come in contact with the pot, with ground. Okay. So this is too short. It's one of those that have the plastic inside, so now it's melted. Okay. It's plastic. Okay. So this one is fine. I just want this to be longer. So I'll just cut this wire straight like this. And you see how this is pushing this out. There. Now this is clogged up, so I need to open it up. Cool. And just we want to make sure that this solder joint is reliable. And we're good. Okay, now we can solder this. All right. Push this back. Okay. And here I'm going to solder it and then I'll cut it. Okay. That's it. So now this is finished. So we're done with this part of the job. Let me just put the tools away. And now the harness is ready to be installed. But we're not going to install it just yet because we need to do some work on the bass. And so we've been streaming for 1 hour and 45 minutes. Okay. All right. So I'm going to take a break, and then, and you know, is there time? There is time. And then I'll put the bass on the bench, and we'll continue. How about that? Yeah. Okay, so thank you for watching. Make sure you click, 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 or don't click. I don't know. Just make sure you click the right place. If you like this kind of content, meaning live streaming content from the workbench, I believe this is the only channel where you can watch someone work on a customer's guitar in real time. So if you subscribe to this channel and click the bell icon, you'll be notified when I am streaming publicly. I do some live streams, actually a bunch of them for my own personal archives. So those are not narrated. I just want to kind of archive the work, just in case there's ever any kind of issue, a dispute, or whatever. Yeah, so that's it. Tell your friends about this if you feel that they will benefit from this kind of content. Thank you, and I'll see you soon.